of that?
I thought it was a typical semi-final. Both teams played with a lot of fire, a lot of commitment, and it was always going to be a difficult game. Semi-finals are. If you lose a semi-final, you get nothing. If you win it, you get to a final, and then you've got to win that one. But I thought the game was played with a good spirit. Everybody fought hard for each other, both teams. And just when we got the breaks at the right time, then we started to get a bit of ascendancy. And then Clarence came strong in the last maybe 20 minutes of the second half, where they had a lot of the ball and a lot of possession. But then perhaps we could have sneaked another on the breakaway. But I just thought it was a typical cup final. A lot of fight, end-to-end football.
Get it done, Gil!
It was, I suppose, a good game for supporters to watch. I mean, there was end-to-end stuff. Clarence had chances, we had chances. So.
We've got Eagles in the final.
Glad to get through it. I mean, we felt that this was the one. We thought it might have been the final, but we had to meet before that, so yeah, happy to be in the final.
You've got Eagles in the final now, a team that did beat you in their final fixture between you two teams. How are you going to go in that game?
Well, we'll be no different. We should have beaten them when they beat us, so we will expect to beat them up there as well. And but it's up to us to play better than we did today. Clarence made it difficult for us to get the ball down and play. And we need to do that against White Eagles. We don't want to be going back to front very long. We need to get it down and play around them.
Andrew, do you think you could have led 2-0?
Absolutely. I thought it was a high quality game. Both teams pressed. We attacked. I thought unusually South Hobart sat a bit deep. I thought they might, just knowing Ken very well, just for the first 15 minutes, and we pressed them in. Could have scored the first 2 goals. I think that may have put a bit of pressure on them, but to match South, and I thought we did, for large parts of the game, if not, we had ascendancy, as Ken said, in the last 15-20 minutes. But I thought we also had the ascendancy in the first 15 minutes of each half, and 2 vital opportunities in each half that we didn't put away. Goals win cup games, and South scored the goals.
So you'd say that missed chances cost you?
Absolutely. If you're 2-0 up against South Hobart and you're actually matching them for football, then it's somewhere where South haven't been for a number of years, and I think that would have asked some great questions. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be. Their quality side, great strikers, give them half a chance and they smack them. And I mean, the goals they scored were great goals, albeit all on the counter. Still got to score them, and the finishes of their strikers were super.
So is that the end of the road for you with
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, not with the club. But
as senior coach?
Absolutely, yes. I made that commitment in 2009, but we weren't ready. The club wasn't ready, so I said I'd go for a one-on-one. And well, now we've got everything in place, and we're looking very good for next year. So
do you know who will take over?
Ronnie Gold. And we knew that in 2009. So, c'est la vie.
Does it depend on his result tonight?
well, if you're picking a coach on results, then Ronnie's your man, isn't he? Because he's done a wonderful job. I've worked with Ronnie now for 8 years at the football club. He came across as a journeyman. He'd been around in Hobart, well respected throughout the community and football community. And he's done a super job with the women. We had a vision that we wanted a holistic club with men and women equal. It's very hard to get good quality people that would take the women on, and Ronnie put his hand up and said, I'll do it, and he's done a fantastic job. I think he's been there 6 years now in that building process, and he's at the same place as I am. The players need a new voice, need some new ideas, and we get on well as friends. And I think it'd be great for the playing group, and it'd be great for the football.
Looking back at that career, Andrew, some major highlights?
2009, yes. There's a couple. I mean, it's not necessarily the ones you win. I think one of the highlights looking back for me was staying up the first year. You look at the clubs that come up and down on a regular basis. The first year, with no disrespect to the players we had at the club, they played miraculous football to stay up. The second year, when we had people like Hadley and Canamella and a few other boys come across, then we started making finals. But that first year was they're a wonderful group of men, most of whom hadn't played senior football ever, so that was a highlight. 2009 doing the double was great. The kids, I've always enjoyed the kids, so I had a great kids side, most of whom are playing tonight. So we've had many highlights. But yeah, 2009 is kind of special because it was against Kenny and the Almighty South. At the time they were.
Was it 9 years with Clarenceville?
9 years
in a
as
coaching
senior coach,
capacity?
yeah, but I've done a year in reserves in 97 as well. Played in 96, 97, so it's a long association. My kids are born and bred there, so they'll carry it on.
It's not ideal, let's put it that way,
I've
but
got a set of binoculars for you. If you
FFT have made that decision that we'll play after the Roar and Victory game. From our point of view, I think it loses a bit of the occasion. You're playing the top four, the state top four final, and I would have thought it could have been in Launceston, but not as a precursor to, say, Roar and Victory. But that's the way it's got to be, so we'll not make it's no problem to us. We'll go out and play and try and enjoy the occasion, which is what we need to do.
Do you think Eagles' away record, is ominous? The fact that you're playing them up there?
Not really. I think White Eagles are White Eagles. If we play our football and do our job, then we should win the football match. The game in which they beat us, it could have been 2-2, 3-2 to us. We could have won the game. We maybe shouldn't have lost it. Nobody would have talked about it. But we did lose it, so that'll give us some character, I hope, to go out and beat them in this one.
The surface should be good, though, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I think the surface will be good up there, and I don't think there's a lot of footy played on it, so it should be good. In fact, I don't think Victory would play the game if the surface wasn't good, and we have it on good authority that maybe the girls' game could be cancelled if there's rain beforehand. That's the way it is with A-League games.
What's the situation with Pennycott's injury?
I'm not too sure. It seems to be at the back of the knee, but we think plenty of ice, and maybe in a couple of days we'll just see if there's any further problems. But I don't think it's as serious as it first sounded. I think Andrew thought he heard a bit of a snap, and I believe there was, but I don't think it's anything too serious.
Ken, the final challenge awaits you on Sunday. Can you win this game against Newtown Eagles? Yes,
I think we can. We're very confident, especially after the last couple of games against Clarence and Ulverston. We've started to play well again and score a few goals, so confidence is high in the camp. But having said that, we have to be very respectful of Steve Pitchford, what he's done with White Eagles. He's got them really playing well with a lot of spirit, and they're a dangerous team, so we need to be attentive on the day.
They're one of only 2 teams that have beaten you this season. Does that weigh heavily on your mind?
Not really. The game that they beat us at Clare Street, we probably felt we could have won the game or got out of it with a draw. We had a lot more chances than they did. So no, it's not a particular worry. We believe if we play to our best football, we can win this game on Sunday.
What do you think of the venue?
Well, I think it's a difficult one, especially after the A-League game, when people have been high watching that standard, and all of a sudden we've got to go and play a final, and 2 southern teams. So I'm not too happy with the venue, but it's the same for White Eagles, and let's be honest, they've had to travel the last couple of weeks. So and travelling's no different for us. We've done it all summer, and we've had 1 game up in Ulverston this year as well. So we'll just accept it as a challenge. I'm sure the playing surface will be good, it'll be excellent. Maybe it lacks a bit of crowd atmosphere. If the crowd has started to leave, then that atmosphere will not be there. But playing wise, I think the surface will be super, and will probably help us with our footballing if we can get the ball down.
Do you think there will be good attendance?
I think there should be. I mean, let's be honest. I think Queensland Roar played some terrific, Brisbane Roar played some terrific football last year, and I'm sure they'll be expecting similar style of play this time around. Victory have always been a leading team over the years in the A-League, so I think it'll be a good match, even though it is early in their pre-season preparation. So I would think if Tasmania want a better standard football, then they should come out and watch this one, that's for sure.
Even though it's not a purpose-built soccer stadium, it is a football stadium. So do you think the players relish playing on that sort of surface and in that sort of environment?
Well, I don't think our local teams will, because we're too far away from the crowds. You know, if you're at South Hobart, the crowd's on top of you. If there's 1,000 people in, it's a terrific atmosphere. KG5, when Central Coast played there, it was a brilliant atmosphere, super. But I don't think you get that at the footy grounds. The big grounds, there's a lot of open spaces, and difficult for the crowds to generate that type of noise.
Tactically, will it be business as usual, or do you have any surprises in store for Eagles?
Well, Jimmy Pennicott's definitely out. I don't think there'll be any major changes to how we play the game. We'll want to get the ball down and try and control it through midfield rather than midfield out. We'll want to play in there, play through them, and just try to improve our sharpness in our passing. If we can quicken our passing up in the middle to front third, then I think we'll have too much for them.
So you think it's a case of them having to worry about you rather than the other way around?
Well, I think they will worry about us, but having said that, they'll play on their strengths at the moment, which is very quick distribution from Nathan Pitchford. He goes quickly from back to front, very quickly, and it depends who they play, whether they play Clampy up there or Lazinski or whoever, but they'll have McEwen bouncing off them and running in behind us, and he's a big threat. So I don't think Eagles are going to change their way of playing to accommodate us. They'll just want to try and put us under pressure and test us at the back, and maybe miss midfield out a little bit.
Are you able to tell viewers the latest on Jim Pennicott's injury?
Well, the latest is he's had a scan, and he's met with the doctor yesterday lunchtime, and it would appear that he's got 4 weeks now of recuperation, and if the injury heals well, then he could be back and travelling to England with us when we go to England in October. If it doesn't heal, then he'll need an operation and he'll be out for probably 9 months. He's done ACL ligament, and that's a tear in it, so we're hoping that it will repair itself and repair well, and if that's the case, good. If not, then he'll definitely need surgery.
He'll definitely miss out on the Melbourne Heart training camp.
No doubt about that. He's no chance of being available. He won't be available to do any serious work until October.
Who will you draft in to take his place for the Heart training camp?
No one at this stage. I think we'll leave it with the 3 lads that are going. Remember, we have a big contingent going to England as well in October, so there's a lot of lads out there now or will be out there doing the best to get professional contracts.
So who's most likely to move into the starting 11?
Well, I don't think anybody more than what we've had. The top 12 players now are down to the top 11. Johnny Lowe will probably start it when he's been on the bench, or Braden's been on the bench, but those 2 lads will start, and we'll go for the throat. We'll go out and try and win, try and get some goals early, and stop them from playing the best we can.
Regardless of Sunday's result, Ken, it's been a tremendous season yet again for you. You've already won 4 trophies. What are your thoughts on the season?
It has. It's been a fantastic season for us. I thought last year was outstanding in our centenary year, where we went through undefeated and played some good football, had some really good wins, and I was really happy with the players. But I think we've done better, even though we've lost 2 games this year. Some of the performances have been outstanding. The fast-flowing attacking football which we played in the big games against Zebras and Clarence. We beat Clarence 8 when they had the 3 Korean lads at the peak. So I was really happy with our performances against the big teams. This time of the year we always seem to struggle a little bit to get the goals, mainly because of we win the league early, the pressure comes off the players, and then it's a wait before the next event, as it were, or major event. So that has been a little bit of a problem for us. But and the bad weather, that really affected us right near the end. But now we're back out on the track, and we're able to train with the ball and do some tactical work. So we're quite happy with our preparation as well.
Well, thanks, Ken, and all the best on Sunday. May the best team win.
Thank you, Walter. Thank you.